Welcome to Steel City Live after a complete disaster that I just went through. But yeah, here we are back in the old format here for tonight. We'll probably do a couple more on StreamYard, but man, guys, what a disaster that I just had happen. So I buy this pizza oven and it's from Wally World, Walmart, and it's an outdoor wood fire. They say put charcoal in it, so you know me being a genius. I put my wood chunks, the wood chips that you buy there. Like you get different ones, like hickory, all different types of stuff. So I went and I had this bitch rocking about 800 degrees, and there's this pizza shop in Greensburg, PA, in a Mount Pleasant, PA, called Falbo's, and they have this really super thin cut crust pizza. It's so good, dude. It's like, and I don't like sweet pizza, but this pizza is like super sweet, not super sweet, but just a little hint of sweetness, and it's really good. And I tried to duplicate it by using pie crust because that's what it looks like is pie crust. And I tried to make it, do all my own shit. The first one I try to get in, I can't get it to slide off the pizza thing, the wooden pizza, like little shoveler. And so I had a bright idea of I'll leave it in there to get cooked long enough to just get a little bit hard and then it'll slide off. I lit the damn thing on fire, the paddle. So the paddle's all burned up. Luckily, I had two. Actually, I have three. I have one in storage still, so I'll grab that one. But yeah, so I had that go on, and then I tried to make another one, and I couldn't get that one off because I put flour down on the board. I got it off, and then it fell apart inside of the damn oven. I burnt the shit out of it. So right now, the family's ordering McDonald's. I'm doing Steel City Live, and I don't eat shitty McDonald's. So here we are, my friends. Here we are. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff as we get back into this little format that we used to get into. And we are here. What's up, Miss Pittsburgh? John Broadway. What's up, TD? What's up? Happy Friday. What's up, Tom Ford? I'm glad to see you, buddy. Oh man, I hope you're doing well, Tom. I meant to check on you. I forgot about Florida being hit, man. Trying to remember where y'all live. Glad you're safe though, and we're seeing Tom in the chat. If everybody could say a prayer for Tom though to continue to stay safe down there. That sucks, man. I hope everybody is getting along down there, man. Yes, hit the like button. Appreciate it. John Broadway. Oh, Tom. He's talking to Tom. Have the Steelers announced who the starting quarterback will be? Yes, they did, Tom, and Russell Wilson is healthy. Russell Wilson will be available for the Raiders game. However, Mike Tomlin makes a solid move, in my opinion, and continues to stay with Justin Fields. I think it's the right way to go, guys. I think it is the clear-cut answer right now because Russ has to knock a little bit of the rust off. I know he's a veteran, but he hasn't played in a while. So, I gotta side with Mike Tomlin here. I got to, and I think it's the right move. So far, Justin. Yeah, it is Justin. Sorry, I'm trying to get back into the chat. TD. Let me try to make sure. Big Sean, what's up? The pizzas didn't look awesome, bro. They looked awesome on the cutting board, didn't they? Or on the shoveler, though, didn't they? They look dang good. Dude used flour and oil. I worked on several pizzas. Yeah, I did on the second one. I did. I used flour, but I sucked. Dude, I usually make good food. I usually cook well. I don't know what the hell. It was just an experiment, and I failed miserably. Hey, I'm about to have my first pop in 5 days. I needed that, man. But, dude, it's made me feel a lot better not having pop. Way less voice issues, too. So it's been awesome. And play dink and dunk 10, 15 yards at a time. Sprinkle some no huddle in. Make a 10-play drive and score a TD. It work for Ben, and then the defense can hold. Yeah, Russ, and exactly what you're saying there. Rhythm. That's got to be the key, guys. Rhythm is what the Pittsburgh Steelers have to have here this Sunday. And this offense has to be able to take a little heat off of a beaten and battered defense. It absolutely has to do that this week. And if you are the Steelers, that's what you're looking for from Justin Fields, that spark, that ability to control the ball, that ability to score a lot of points. That's what you have to really be putting your faith in Justin Fields to be able to do this Sunday, because the Steelers are very, very weak on outside linebacker play, and that's going to be a problem. Um, yes, you can rush from other locations. You can try to mix up the scheme a little bit. But yes, you still have TJ Watt. I understand that, but it's still going to be an issue, guys, a little bit. And this offense has to this Sunday take the heat off of the defense and stay in rhythm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Aloha, John Broadway. Yes, I wouldn't make any sense to interpret what is going on. Well, I hope that should be able to. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know what's going on either with that. Don, John Broadway. Sean says, if Justin does not perform and get the win in Vegas, will Tomlin turn to Russell Wilson? I gotta say yes. And is it the right move? Will it be the right move? That's just living in a hypothetical world of, what ifs. But I will say this. If Justin Fields doesn't play well this week, I could see Mike Tomlin trying out Russell Wilson. And the reason being is because you've already dug yourself a hole then. You would now be 3-3 as the Steelers would head out of the weekend 3-3. That's not the place where you need to be, because 4-2 and 3-3 are such a different world in which the Steelers would be living, man. And I could say that that's exactly what Mike Tomlin would do if Justin doesn't perform well enough. 916 Bert says Raiders. I don't think Raiders got a chance, to be honest with you, even with a shitty Steeler team right now, in terms of their injury situation and things of that nature. I just don't see a world in which the Raiders have enough to beat the Steelers. I really don't. I just think the Raiders are in a bad spot right now. They have superstar players, but yeah, I don't think so. We'll see what happens, but I'm kind of confident that the Steelers will win this Sunday. But we got to remember a couple things with the Raiders. They have a couple running backs that can get the job done, guys. They're versatile guys in and out of the backfield. They can hit in between the tackles. They can catch the ball and do some things in space. That is something that the Pittsburgh Steelers are really going to heavily have to deal with and really pay a lot of attention to that. Considering the quarterback situation with the Raiders, yeah, that run game is going to be utilized, and they are going to have to make sure that they pay attention. Now, I noticed something with the Raiders offense earlier. It seems to me that they're not very fundamentally gap sound offensively in terms of the offensive linemen being able to really keep those gaps clean. It seems like that's an issue, but we'll see. I didn't watch their whole season so far. I only watched a little bit of it, but from what I saw, it didn't seem like they protected their gaps well. It didn't seem like they cleared a lot of space on a consistent basis. Now, there are plays where they do, but it just didn't seem on a consistent basis that the Raiders were able to do those things. Russ says, Jason, on your upload, agreed with you on the gangster wide receiver. Let's rename wine receivers. Yeah. Dude, these wide receivers, I'm not sure how we got here, guys. I'm not sure how the NFL got here with these wide receivers and their damn attitudes. I'm not sure how this all works and how the franchises are able to put up with this shit. And I'm not being... I don't think I'm being over the top with it. It's ridiculous, guys. It's craziness to deal with such distraction when there's guys chomping at the bit in college that want to come out and ball. Keep drafting them and keep getting rid of the ones that just don't get on board with the program. All right, guys, we're about 10 minutes in. Make sure you're hitting the like and subscribe button here if you are new. Make sure you are sharing the show. I can see how many times it's shared, so make sure you guys share the shit out of it. Hook a brother up with that. I'd really, truly appreciate shares and likes. That's the best way to support the channel. As we've come back to this this format here in the vertical presentation, which puts us out into the shorts feed. Let's see if we can get that viewership back up into the high numbers to where we were almost hitting that 100 concurrent viewers at one time. So let's try to get back into that rhythm here now that the season is cranking along. Nathaniel Sampson, Jason, what's up? Do you still remember me? What is your winner for the winner of the fantasy pick'ems? I'm in second place in first place in Nick's league. Sean's league screws me because it doesn't register my picks. But Sean, Daddy picked again. I picked this week. I shouldn't have, but I did. Let's see if it takes them. Yes, thanks for the prayers that's from Tom to everybody. He appreciates it, but I'm not sure what you mean. What is the winner for the winner? I'm not sure what that means, but I do remember you. I see you all the time, Nathaniel. I remember you. Thanks for the prayers. We did that. Justin, hi Jason. How are you doing, bro? I'm doing good, man. Good to see you, Justin. Nathaniel Bird, Biz, what's up, man? I don't know how I feel about this game. Might be a trap. Yeah, in the last two, I don't see how the Steelers lost both of those when they were looking like they were really starting to hit their stride. It just amazes me how quickly they regressed. And that's why, guys, I truly blame the coaching staff, because a team to regress that quickly tells me one thing: that they weren't put into position to succeed, that they were outcoached. Because once you're seeing this team grow and start to do the things that you're starting to grow accustomed to as the season moves on, and then all of a sudden they just can't do them, it just really truly tells me that the athletes didn't stop being athletes. The athletes didn't stop having those special traits to get the job done. It's telling me that the coaching staff wasn't able to put the players in the correct position. And that is smacking us right in the face. I mean, Justin Fields just all of a sudden didn't learn or stop, being able to throw the football. Didn't all of a sudden stop being able to run. It's just amazing to me, though, how quickly a game plan being out of sorts can really destroy a football team and really send them into a tailspin. But you're right, Biz. It could possibly be another trap game. But when you're 3-2 and then you fall to 3-3, I don't even know if I consider it a trap game. More or less, is it a bad team got beat by another bad team? Would we be already to that spot of the season? You know what I mean? That's another question that I want to ask. It's a given that the hook will be used after this game. Downtown John Broadway's referring to Justin Fields being hooked if he doesn't perform. And now I pose this question to you guys out there in the Mic Drop Mafia community. Does Justin Fields now all of a sudden feel the weight of the world on him, knowing Russell Wilson is back? Knowing that Russell Wilson is one bad game away from taking your job? Is that something that is going to really slow and hinder Justin Fields here in week 6? That is something that you have to ask yourself. And here's another situation that could potentially unfold here. Justin Fields, the Steelers, historically over the last decade, even with Ben Roethlisberger, known to have very slow starts due to the conservative nature of the coaching staff and, of the head coach, knowing that they've had slow start after slow start here. What if the Steelers go into halftime and only have 3 to 10 points on the board and they're trailing, by 3? Does Justin get the hook at halftime in lieu of Russell Wilson? How does that take care of boosting a young man's confidence? I'm just asking, guys, because I don't think Mike Tomlin right now is currently in position to handle this correctly. I think he is kind of damned if he does, damned if he don't type situation that he's in right now. Short of Justin Fields coming out here and lighting up the Las Vegas Raiders and putting up monster numbers and really confidently beating them, I don't know how you win if you're Mike Tomlin in this situation, because you have half the fan base calling for Russell Wilson. You have half the fan base calling for Justin Fields. And then there's a small section of the fan base that says this, that the coaching is horrible, that the game plan is horrible, and that the Steelers approach things too ultra conservative. That's where we live right now in this Steelers situation that's transpiring in front of our face here, heading into week 6. James, what's up, man? This O-line got their hands full with the Raiders front. Absolutely, and you have a guy like Max Crosby, and how do you take care of that if you are Dan Moore Jr. or Broderick Jones? How do you handle that? Because I know that they probably will mix Max Crosby around, probably, I don't know, maybe they mix him up to see where they're going to be as soft as possible. Who is it? Broderick, Dan? If the Raiders are smart, they would do something like that. Test the waters like a shark, Testing, testing, testing. Bow! Nail you. I'm just saying, we'll see. But yeah, the Steelers are going to definitely have their hands full with this defensive front of the Raiders. And it could prove to be very, very difficult for the Pittsburgh Steelers here this week. Sorry, guys. I'm going to try to minimize something here and bring up my Chrome so we can have the rosters in front of us also. Well, I see it. The quarterback change is going to help. He's referring to the Raiders quarterback change, and that guy's name is slipping my mind here, and I don't know why. Hold on, I will bring it up. Yeah, he's such a no name. But we'll see here. Hold on. It may. You watch the Raiders, Bert DeJerk 916. You watch the Raiders far more than me, man. So you would know more about this ball club than I do. From my short research and watching this team, I think there are tons and tons and tons of holes. However, I think that the Raiders possess a lot of high quality players, though, too. Well, not a lot, but some. You got Brock Bowers that is going to potentially be a real problem, man. You got Amir Abdullah, who I think can run. You got Madison, who I think can run. Zamir White, you got those guys that can get it done. There's a lot. And look who's already questionable. Jackson Powers Johnson. Remember I said don't pick him because he's injury prone. I thought Zach Frazier was the guy. And so far, so good for those Steelers. Devontae Adams, guys, he is out with a hamstring. That would have been a major weapon for the Raiders. And I think there's more to it than a hamstring with Devontae Adams. Raiders fans, I think that Devontae Adams wants out badly. And I think that this little injury is going to linger for quite a long time until he gets his ass up out of there, and then all of a sudden he'll be miraculously healed. I just have a bad feeling, a bad vibe that is what's going on. You're looking at Brock Bowers, though, probably their best target in the receiving game, in my opinion, their most dangerous weapon right now at the tight end spot. And the Steelers have historically here over the last several seasons had a really difficult time guarding tight ends. And if the Raiders are smart, they would use Brock Bowers and really, truly attack this Steelers defense. Hopefully, potentially, with the additions at inside linebacker for the Steelers, they may be able to overcome that this season, but we will see. This is going to be a real test for the Steelers and Brock Bowers. 28 catches, averaging 11 yards with 1 touchdown, but I look for those numbers to rapidly increase for Brock Bowers. The Steelers, Nick Herbig, of course, he's out. I'm looking at the list. DeMarvin Leal, neck out. McCole Pruitt out, knee. Them are just some of the ones that I'm seeing here. Herbig, I don't even know why I said it. It was just on that list. Sorry, we knew he was out for the year. But let's see the players here on their roster. I'm trying to bring it up, guys. We'll get back to the chat, though. Danny, what's up, Tyler? How are you, man? Good life over here. Birth defect. That's a good one, cut for low scoring game, most likely. Is worse enough to need to change it. Hey, at least you got a good sense of humor, Bert the Jerk. I appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Armando, it's easy. What's easy? Are you easy? John Broadway, downtown John Broadway, arena football, fast and serious, attitude of our society in the movies. We want everything handed to us instantaneously. Yeah, John. We live in an instant gratification society, and I find myself falling into that rut. And I didn't grow up in that type of generation to where I expect that. I've found myself, though, falling into that rut lately with my channel, even. I have periods where, I grow greatly. Then I'll go through a few month period where it's very sluggish and slow and it just gets discouraging, and I expect that instant gratification from changes and things of that nature, and I find myself doing that. I find myself doing that with my youth football team to where I expect that, hey, I'm putting them in the scheme that I think really, really works, and why don't we execute things perfectly? I want that instant gratification, and I got to understand sometimes that things take time to develop. However, in the NFL, when we're referring to this, guys, you need instant gratification because there is only 17 games in this regular season, and you don't have time to continue to watch teams grow over long periods. It just doesn't work because why? You fall too far behind, and that just doesn't work out. James, I believe it started with T.O. Now they take it to a new level. Yeah, no doubt. These receivers are crazy. I don't think this will be a trap game, in my opinion, from Justin. Burt the Jerk. Justin Fields is not good. I just don't know how you say that right now at this point. I think he's guided a football team to a 3-2 record. Yes, he comes from a situation that was even worse than what the Steelers are dealing with, for sure. And I just don't see how the Steelers and Justin Fields are all that bad. I don't see that. I don't see how Justin Fields is no good. And I've been the biggest critic of Justin Fields this offseason. So, but we'll see. Brian White looks like Pittsburgh wants to tank this season. I don't even. I don't see that, Brian. I don't even know what made you think that, but I don't see that at all. All right, guys. The Vegas Raiders, though, they are ranked 15th in the league in passing yards with averaging 213 yards per game. Rushing yards, though, they're averaging 30th. They're 30th. They are averaging 84 yards per game right now for the Raiders. Total yards per game, they rank 24th with 297 yards per game. Aiden O'Connell is going to be the quarterback out of Purdue. This is his rookie season. He's not rookie. What's this? His second year? Let's make sure so I don't give you inaccurate information. Yeah, this is his second year. Aiden O'Connell, 6'3", 210 pounds. Again, out of Purdue. Drafted in the fourth round of the 2023 draft with pick number 33 in the fourth round. By the Vegas Raiders. Last season in 2023, 213 completions on 343 attempts with 12 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, was sacked 24 times. Not great numbers from the rookie last year. So, yeah, it is what it is. We'll see. I'm thankful to face him instead of Gardner Minshew. John Broadway, Grandmaster J, we who are about the honest salute you. Steelers sounds freaking yeah. Brian, it's about time everyone else is doing it. Epic Expedition, Sean, I see Pittsburgh as a 10-win team this year. It's not too late. I thought you saw them as a 12-win team, Sean. I'm just messing with you. Tom says, hey, Jason, experimenting is how we have a lot of great dishes. Also, I think GP is going off this weekend. I'll tell you how we get wide receivers getting attitudes. It's because Mike Tomlin allows them to. Yeah, well, I think it's a problem all across the league. I think head coaches and coaching staffs allow these wide receivers to run the joint and say and do whatever they want, and that's just the product you get out there now. You're right. Let them do. They let them do this stuff. And GP, as far as GP going off, it could be at any time. It could be at any time that George Pickens takes off and goes, guys. But we'll have to continue to watch that all transpire too, considering the events that have happened here as of late with George Pickens in terms of his attitude and things of that nature. His vulgar comments on his eye black, things like that. And I know these guys say, I don't want to be a role model, blah, 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 blah. Well, too bad you are. It just is what it is. You have to suck it up and deal with it, Buttercup. That's just what it is. Sean says, yes, the pressure is on Justin Fields now for sure. Russ, especially not using Najee Wright, running him outside. He's inside power runner, Burke to jerk. We need to normalize switching quarterbacks for shitty play. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it is what it is. I think it's pretty normal, though. It should be normal, Bert. Russ, if we win the next 3, should be okay going into the bye with only 2 losses. Oh, absolutely, Russ. If the Steelers win the next 3 games and they are sitting all of a sudden at 6-2 heading into week 9, or heading out of week 9 or into week 9, right when that bye week is, should be heading into week 9. Yeah. They're in the catbird seat. I think the Ravens lose this week to the Washington Commanders. I said it during the draft. Nobody wanted to hear me. They said I was stupid. They said I was crazy. I told you Jaden Daniels is the real deal, and the kid doesn't even have a clue of what he's doing right now. Doesn't even know the offense, and he is this good. The kid is real, man. Jaden Daniels is the real deal, and when he masters the offense and he is able to intellectually catch up with his athleticism, with his arm talent, he is going to be a dangerous, dangerous quarterback. And people better be put on notice. Jaden Daniels will be pretty damn good and is right now for the Washington Commanders. And I look for them to upset the Baltimore Ravens. And the Steelers are going to have to watch out when they play the Commanders, because it ain't going to be easy with Jaden on the field. Downtown John Broadway, the truth is, can Tomlin actually develop a quarterback who is helping him? I don't know. I don't know. We've not seen him develop a quarterback. He fell into the luxury of having a franchise quarterback when he took over in the city of Pittsburgh for one Bill Cowher. He came out and he had Ben, and that was a luxury. And hell, that's awesome for Mike to fall into that. I don't fault him for that, but he's never been able to develop a guy since. Justin Meneke, I just want us to stay with Fields. For right now, I think that's the wise decision, Justin. I absolutely do. Cutthroat John says the Steelers' new gap had attitude in college. Oh, you're talking about, okay. The Steelers' new GP had attitude in college and took him anyway. They did it. They don't do it to them, or they did it to themselves, thinking the black and gold fixes all. And yeah, sometimes, John, you're exactly spot on. Sorry, I was trying to get through that one. Yeah. They think just getting in the black and gold uniform fixes everything. And that's been the mentality of the Steelers for a long period of time, considering some of the players that they've brought in over the years, and thought that just wearing the Steelers uniform magically fixes a player's deficiencies. However, it does not. And you heard Minkah Fitzpatrick say that. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. There's been so many mediocre average seasons that you get a lot of comments from players. And Minkah Fitzpatrick said this not too long ago. He said, just wearing the Steelers uniform isn't enough. And people inside that building don't understand that. But some players think that it is. And Minkah said that. And that's not a direct quote, but he said something exactly like that. And that is the God's honest truth, guys. for sure. All right, guys, we are here on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason. We are back in the shorts feed for tonight's live show here again on Mike Drop Sports. Appreciate you all for stopping through. If you're new to the channel, make sure you're hitting the shit out of that subscribe button. Also, sharing the show for us here. We truly, truly appreciate it as we continue to try to grow our community of honest Steelers fans and honest Steelers takes. None of this sugarcoating shit for you just because you want to hear something that makes you feel good. We ain't about that here. We are going to tell you the God's honest truth about this football team and whether it's good or bad. Miss Pittsburgh in the house waving those terrible towels. Appreciate it. Russ, start the offense and get the lead. Show confidence in them. That's the biggest thing, Russ, is to come out here, allow Justin Fields to play Justin Fields style football. That means athletic, moving around, get him out on the run, get him out on those designed rollouts, allow him to work that run pass option game, allow him to work the actions. I really think that Justin can succeed if they just take the handcuffs off a little bit and give him a little bit more liberties also at the line of scrimmage, because I think that's an issue. I don't think they allow him to be able to transition in and out of plays with checks and audibles as much as they need to, because this is the NFL, guys, and you can't, as an offensive coordinator, be good enough to constantly, your first play call be the one that works. In the NFL, guys, quarterbacks have to be able to change in and out of plays. They have to be able to audible in and out of different protections and different schemes, and that's how you win ball games at the NFL level. This isn't college, and hey, I'm calling a toss right, and you're going to take it 80 yards because you're playing freaking South Dakota Technical Institute. You know, this isn't that. This is the NFL, and you have to be smart and understand defenses and know the flow of the game, understand the situation, understand the clock in your head, understand your timeout situation. You have to know it all if you are an NFL quarterback. You have to be at a high football IQ level, man. It's a must. All right, guys, thank you for starting to smash the shit out of that like button. I appreciate it. Almost up over 20, so let's keep getting those likes going here as we continue through Steel City Live. Let me get back to the comments. It's jumping around on me. Sean says, if the pressure is too much for Justin, then he isn't our guy. The future of Pittsburgh needs a guy who can perform under pressure, because that's what it takes to win and Lombardi. Absolutely. And that's why I want them to take the handcuffs off. That's why I don't want them to be ultra conservative with Justin Fields, guys. It's because if you want to truly know what you have in him, you have to allow him to do this now. Why wait until next year after you've signed him to some sort of deal? Whatever that deal may be. And then all of a sudden, you finally take the handcuffs off of him and you finally find out what it is that you may not have wanted. And it may be a problem. We'll see what happens, though, with the Steelers and Justin Fields. But you got to give him some liberty, man, and allow him to start playing loose, fast, and free. Biz in the house. Biz says, I don't think Tomlin knows how to develop quarterbacks, and that's been a big part of the problem. From Mason to KP to Fields, he doesn't seem to know what he's doing and doesn't seem willing to bring someone in that does. Yeah. Now, they do have a new quarterbacks coach this year. They do have a new offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith, and I hoped that would change exactly what Biz is referring to, the lack of quarterback development since the departure of Ben Roethlisberger, even slightly before his departure with Mason Rudolph. When Mason Rudolph was drafted, in my eyes, I thought that he possessed the ability to be able to take over from Ben once he was able to learn from Ben long term, and to have the backing and the trust from the franchise that a guy that's young, that's just starting to play his NFL career needs in order to be successful also. And to scheme things correctly too. Utilize your quarterback's skill sets. And the Steelers don't do a good job at that. And Mike Tomlin has proven so far that he hasn't been able to develop a quarterback. Now, I will give Mike this. It is extremely hard to develop a quarterback at the NFL level. It is extremely difficult to get a franchise quarterback at the NFL level. And let's be real when we are looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have only had two true franchise quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls, that have been able to be long-term solutions at the quarterback positions in a storied franchise history such as the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, black and yellow, Sixburg, baby. Yeah, all that comes from two quarterbacks that built that Sixburg legacy, that stairway to seven legacy. It's that hard. It's that hard. But yet it's no excuse because you expect perfection. You expect a coach to be able to do those things. And if that coach isn't that guy, you've been loyal enough to him. You've given him ample opportunity. Maybe it's time for a mutual parting of ways. It's just my theory. Scott Nash, what happens to the Steelers with those what happened to the Steelers with those Cowboys? Scott, they played ultra conservative. They came out and they played Tomlin ball, where they expect the defense to win every game, and that's just not what you can do at the NFL level to be successful. It's just not a recipe for success nowadays in a league that is geared toward offensive football. Why in the world are you totally reliant on your defense in all situations? It doesn't make sense. It's the definition of insanity over the last decade, at least here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ian McKay, Ravens winning the Super Bowl this year. The Ravens aren't even going to get past the Washington Commanders this year or this week. And I really truly firmly believe that. I even in my Pick'em League picked the Commanders to beat the Ravens. But I will say this. As long as Lamar Jackson is the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens, my friends, they will not hoist the Lombardi Trophy. He is not a championship caliber quarterback. Prove me wrong. Prove to me a big game that he has ever won as the quarterback at college or pros. I'll wait. Burt the Jerk. Big game from Brock Bowers. How's your secondary on tight ends? Yeah, I just answered that, Bert. I'm a little behind in the chat. Yeah, we've got eat up by the tight ends though before, Bert. So if you're playing a fantasy, Brock Bowers is probably a very safe bet to at least get numbers and maybe score. You know. Big Russ says, I still see us as a 12-win team winning North. We cannot let Ravens get Adams. Here's the thing with the Steelers, man. Again, guys, 4-2 and 3-3 are a vastly different world, man. It's vastly different. Come Monday, if the Steelers are 4-2, the national media all of a sudden hops back on the Steelers bandwagon about this team could do it. There might be a team of destiny. They lose, they're going to continue this trend in which they've started this week with they're horrible, they're bad. It's just the way it goes. We'll see what happens though. Yes, thank you, man. John Broadway. Oh, I didn't pick the Steelers to win 12 games, guys. I picked them to win 10, possibly 11, but we'll see what happens. Russ said 12. Several others said 12. We even had a couple 13s in there. Downtown Joe on Broadway, I double team Crosby because they ain't got no choice. And yes, Mount Washington needs to get in this equation with Connor Hayward peeling off to catch a ball or two. Yes, and I wanted to bring that up, and I got to try to catch up in the chat, guys. We always love to answer all your chat questions here on Steel City Live and incorporate you, the fan, you, the viewer of this football team, into the conversation, and I feel like that's a very rare thing inside of social media, inside of live streams. We do our damn best to make sure you're involved as a viewer, so make sure you smash that like button for us here on Steel City Live. I'm your host, Jason. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe to Mike Drop Sports. We truly appreciate it as we continue to push toward that 4,000 goal that we should have hit a long time ago, right when the season started. But hey, we hit a little rough patch, but we're back, baby. But yeah, I agree. double teaming Crosby. That would be good. I think Mount Washington, though, has to be involved this week. Why? Because I think you could do a lot with Darnell. I think you could use him a lot in chip blocking a guy like a Max Crosby. You could use him in the double teaming of Max Crosby, and you could use him with that chip release and allow him to pound that Raiders defense, man, getting him the ball, giving him a small amount of space. He is a big, big human to bring down, and that will wear on a defense throughout a game, especially when you're using somebody the size of Darnell Washington. And it could prove to be very problematic for a Raiders defense that, just hasn't been that great this season. Burt the Jerk, Jackson Powers Johnson is good to go. He sucks, bro. He's always going to be hurt. Zach Frazier is the best center in this draft. I can't even front. Russ, fans getting on. Minka leading the team in tackles, has to leave his coverage to come up and tackle, run 10 tackles last game. Elliott had 9. Safety should lead. Yeah. No, they shouldn't, and we brought that up right the next day, and I thought that was something that was definitely a key point, Russ. Minka Fitzpatrick leading the team in tackles against the Cowboys was an absolute embarrassment. Safety shouldn't be doing that, and you're right, he shouldn't be coming up to make those plays. Now, there are times when Minka Fitzpatrick is brought into the box. It's just schematically done. But Deshaun Elliott has filled that role mostly this season. He likes to play around the box, and that has given Minka Fitzpatrick the possibility of staying back. However, when the Steelers are getting gashed by the run game, that's when they're dropping both those safeties in and around the box to try to stop that run, and Minka's having to come down and cover a lot of ground. That wears on a player also, guys. So Minka, too, you got to watch him and manage his reps. When you're running from deep to inside of the box to try to make a tackle to stop the bleeding when a team is gashing you in the run, it's a problem. And what has to happen in order for him to stop doing that? It's called the linebackers and the defensive front making a damn play and stopping the run. But we'll see. If I'm right, didn't Peyton Wilson play some edge in college? If so, put him on edge. Mike Tomlin says that he will not play edge, that he does not possess the skill set to play edge. Now, that's not from Jason Russ. That's from Mike Tomlin. I seem to think with his speed, his athleticism, his versatility, especially as a rookie, why not? Why not? Do it up, man. Do it up. John Broadway, Scott Nash, we freaking lost because Tomlin calls a timeout because Tomlin isn't smart beyond his BS. Danny George, what's up, man? Russ, good job, TD, beat me to it. James Bauman, do we finally see Roman Wilson? It can't be worse than who they put out there now. James, I don't think you see Roman Wilson again this week. And I say that not because I don't think the Steelers don't have confidence in him in terms of his skill set. I just don't think that he's 1,000% ready. And you hear guys like Arthur Smith talk about football shape. He just might not be there just yet. He's spent a very long time on that injured list, and now that he is available, he has to work his way back. Now, whether I agree or not, that's a different story, but we'll see what happens with Roman Wilson here. But I could see it happening any week, but I don't think it'll be this one. Burt the Jerk. We cannot lose to City, who calls it pop and not soda. That's a good one. I don't know where you heard that word, brother. Russ. I didn't see it, buddy. Let's see. Roman. I have a kid on my team, my quarterback on my youth football team. His name is Roman, and he's been playing lights out for us. So if you're out there, Roman, shout out to you, little fella. This Sunday, my boys are about to put the butt whooping on Brewston, man. They're about to lay the smack down. I'm going to have to call the dogs off. That's how bad it's going to be. Danny says, this is the format I like, Jason. I'm glad you enjoy it, brother. Tyler Davidson, Dallas fan here, and I promise you Steelers aren't tanking. No, they're not, Tyler. Absolutely not. Steve Kozak. It will be another bullshit close game. It don't matter who we play. It's just being a Steelers fan is bad for your health. It is bad for your health, Steve. It is. No, the Steelers don't tank. No, absolutely not, Russ. You're 1,000% correct. John Broadway downtown. Mark for the defense. For the offense and all the attention anyone wants for the 15 minutes, that actually means what? A freaking brand. Hey, Russ and John Broadway, good evening, fellas. We're going to get back on track this week. That's from Russ. If Wilson starts, I predict he gets re-injured. Plus, I don't think the Dallas loss was only on Fields. No, and definitely that was a team loss, guys, and not a team loss more than the coaching loss, I think, was above all. Yes, let's see here. Roman Wilson. I'm just trying to. He won't play. That's from a day ago. Explains why he won't play. Jerry Dulac was trying to give an explanation. I think he's on the same boat as me about the injury or still not being 100%. Russ might get re-injured again. Cavs are very finicky, man. No doubt about it, Sean. That was my way too early prediction. That was your not too long ago prediction, Sean. Don't lie. I got receipts, Sean. I got tape. I'm just clowning you. Don't get your panties in a ruffle. John Broadway, Danny George. Yes, I like this too, but keeping it fresh with switching it up also adds spice as well. Yeah. Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the show on YouTube. Thank you, TD. Appreciate it. Yes, guys, the viewership definitely has been nice tonight. A lot of steady concurrent viewers. Appreciate that. So make sure you are beating the shit out of that like button and sharing the show for the only place in town that you can come and get your voice heard on a consistent basis. Line up both quarterbacks. Let them figure who gets. Yeah, no doubt. Kevin Lynch, good evening. What's up? If the Raider O-line can hold for Aiden O'Connell, you will see how good he is. He just needs time. That's the biggest factor for us. That's from Bert. And that's the thing for all quarterbacks, that pocket comfortability, Bert. And that rings true for any quarterback in the NFL. It's just the way it is. Yep. Russ, these receivers think they're the most important part of the team, and they're not. Douglas Ball, Jason, what's up, brother? Last game was a wake-up call, but if Tomlin don't change, the team don't change. Sad but true. You're spot on there, Douglas. Good to see you, buddy. John Broadway, sadly, the idea of no heroes in sports has become the ultimate in selflessness. And that's sad because I had a lot of heroes in sports growing up, man. I admired a lot of people in a multitude of different sports, and it was what I lived and breathed, man. Watching those sports, hearing about those sports, collecting baseball cards, football cards, living and dying by it. When is Warren expected back in the lineup? His knee injury, Kevin, has definitely been an issue, and it's just not ready yet. I would expect him probably to be out past the bye. I expect him to come back after the bye week. That's just my thoughts, but some may be different in that. Yes, they beat the Ravens. That's from Russ. Honestly, I think Jaden Daniels is better than Lamar Jackson. I do too, Tom. Kevin, he wants to play this game. Tom, I agree. Kevin Schroyer, what's up, man? Realistically, Emmanuel Sanders was the only top-tier wide receiver we've had in like 15 years that isn't problematic. He wasn't. Emmanuel Sanders was a solid NFL wide receiver, man, for both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos. Emmanuel brought a presence that was significant each and every week and was definitely someone in which you could count on, and he wasn't a issue inside of that building, at least not from the outside looking in. Interesting fact, the Raiders have only beaten AFC North teams this year, so we'll see. That's from Bert to Jerk. Yeah, they beat the Ravens. Thanks for that, Bert. Maria, Patrick Queen needs to get with it. He's playing okay, guys. He's not playing horrible. And I know that narrative has been spun because he got a decent deal this offseason, a big hefty sack. But he's not playing horrible. So don't panic just yet, Maria. I definitely think there's room for improvement. Absolutely. But yeah, this could definitely yeah, it's definitely not horrible so far. We could break it down a little bit further if we have time. Russ, take the ball on offense and kick, run, dink, dunk, get 10, play drive. Yes, man, we'll see what happens. Any used car is a risk, just as players not born drafted. Steelers men has that risk. Yep. Yeah, man. Used cars are always a risk. DJ Thomas, is it really that bad? The games the Steelers lost has only been by 3. Both games were close. Young quarterback, no wide receivers, new OC, line is in shambles. No, it hasn't been that bad, but I really got to say this, guys. I don't think it's players right now. I think some of it is a limited amount, but I really think it's schematics. And I really think it's the ultra conservative nature of Mike Tomlin. And when do we just start blaming that? When is that the key? It's the only common factor in all of the bad offenses over the last decade. Is him. It's him. He's him. Raiders D has been very good against running quarterbacks so far. Yeah, Justin can throw, though, too. Yes, thank you, moderators, for definitely sticking up and making sure that you can keep the chat clean. It does, Sean, bring some weirdos in here, but I'm glad I don't have to pay attention to it due to the great work of our moderators here on Mike Drop Sports and the show Steel City Live. Russ, Sean, TD, D when he's in here. Yeah, many of you definitely that I have. I think we have 4 of you now, maybe 5 of you. And if I left anybody out, I apologize, but you guys do a great job, and you're very consistent in being here also. Yes, yeah, that's the only thing about the shorts view that I don't like, but it does bring a significant amount more viewers, especially when you are during the season, I believe. StreamYard it's a very cool tool. But let me tell you what's going on, guys, so you're not all wondering what is going on. Nick has some stuff he needs to do, and we were all on Nick's StreamYard. He had like a major account, like the big one, and we could all use that and then just pay Nick monthly. But Nick has some things he needs to take care of in his personal life. So he's going to stop streaming, stop doing his social media, and deactivate all of that stuff just to take a breather and get his life in the position that he wants it to be. Nothing bad at all. It's all good things. So yeah, he just needs to do that. So Jason and Mike Drop, we just went with Nick and all them guys to try to help each other grow, but things haven't. Yeah, just people got life, so we're all gonna just chill on that for a while. So we're coming back to this until I figure out the next plan, the next path. Ben didn't ask to change plays. He just did it. But Ben was a franchise Hall of Fame type guy. He didn't have to ask anyway, and they're not going to say anything to him if he did change plays. Justin, on the other hand, with Russell Wilson breathing down his neck, I don't think ruffling feathers would be in his best interest to remain the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that's sadly the position that he's in. But we'll see what happens with that, too. John Broadway, I still think our D-line has issues in the middle. The run and the trap blocking eats our line. Yes, John, it does. John Broadway. Tomlin doesn't want anyone smarter than him. Look at his choices. Yeah, there's some people that are ego-driven like that. Bert says these next-gen quarterbacks are just not as smart as they used to be. It's too dumbed down and limited for these new quarterbacks to be successful. Absolutely. And Bert's spot on there, guys. And I say this often, and I run this system in my team. And but I'm running with 9-year-olds that can run it at a high level, which is very, very, very awesome to see. Very, very cool. But anyway, it's a spread RPO type system. And when you are spread out and you are in that RPO type system, you take a lot of the processing out of the game because you are spread out. You are making quick, efficient, supposedly, decisions. And it's either run or pass. And you have the route tree that you know at hand. And there's not a ton of different ways to draw it up. You know, you got some guys running some goes, you got some guys running some flags. Somebody's doing a deep route. A couple of them running shorts, or they're all running slants, running shorts, running drags. It's very uncomplicated. It truly is. And you are right. This next generation of quarterbacks aren't as smart, and that's okay. They're just not brought up to be. They're not brought up in the complex systems that they once were. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong there too. Maybe Bert's wrong, but that's just what I think. Steelers won. I'm back for more questions. Danny George, I hear that. John Broadway lifted ones. You're a Pittsburgh Steeler fan. How could you hate defense? I'm not sure what you're talking about, bro. I don't hate defense. I'm actually a very defensive minded person, but I'm also intelligent enough to understand that there has to be versatility, that there has to be in today's NFL, a real true emphasis put into offensive football, considering that the rules are geared toward offensive football and scoring points. It's only logical and it only makes sense to, really want to lean on the offense instead of a defense in today's world. All right, guys, this chat's all over the place. Let me try to pick up where I am. I don't even know. What's up, Roberta? I see you. Y2 Kelly 66. Hey, Jason, do you think the Raiders can run RD with Herbig, Highsmith injuries? Yeah, I think that they can be successful with the run and Brock Bowers, and that's what worries me, and that's what I think could wind up potentially losing the Steelers this game. John Broadway, yeah, Russ, believed in him. Oh, sorry. Kevin Lynch, I think 11 will get us a playoff spot. As competitive as the AC is, or the AFC is, 10 wins will have us needing help like last year, in my opinion. Yeah, 10 probably get you in this year. Roberta, with all the injuries with linebackers, why not put the guy in and give him a shot? Yeah, no doubt. I agree. That's just too. Tomlin don't want anybody to be smarter than him. That's an obvious one there, no doubt. Steelers don't tank, but they might play stupid thanks to several issues. No doubt, man. Concerned Pat has a calf strain. Pat who? Pat Fryermuth? Oh, man. I didn't see that. I'm going to go over the injury report Sunday in the pregame show. I kind of wait to see how that all pans out, but we'll go over the injury report then. And we'll see who's going to be active, inactive. John, I want Steelers to make some noise and shake up the division. Trade for T. Higgins, LOL. Bengals and shambles, I'll take Higgins and Pickens duo. Colin, 49ers are better. Not really. You're right, John Broadway. John, I'm just trying to get through the chat, guys. What about, I don't even know what that is. I got to jet you. See you, man. Oh, OJ Simpson. All right, guys, we're about an hour in. My phone is about to die. So if I didn't answer your chat question there at the end, I apologize. Come back tomorrow. We'll do a show tomorrow. Yeah, I owe you a show. I missed one this week. So I'm glad to see almost 30 likes tonight. That's awesome. I truly appreciate that. A lot of concurrent viewers. I'm anxious to see the total numbers, so thank you for our return here to the Shorts feed, this vertical presentation. It's always really fun. Thanks to the moderators for being on your game and making sure I don't see all the stupid things, because sometimes I'll just go off on it, and I don't like to do that and waste time on the show, especially when we're trying to talk X's and O's. But yeah, man. Appreciate you all so much, and thank you for the great support here tonight on our first night back here in this format, but we will try to mix it up again, and let's continue to share the show, guys. That's so important. Make sure you're sharing the show when it comes out. You see me pop it out there to social media, pop it into the community section. Make sure you too share that, because that will really help. I know it doesn't seem like it will, but it'll really, really help spread the message. And also, YouTube takes that into account in their algorithm when they are suggesting videos. And let's bring Steelers Nation into the most truthful Steelers channel on the internet, on YouTube. That's not trying to feed you a load of bullshit each and every day. We're trying to let you have your voice heard too, as part of Steelers Nation and as an NFL fan in general, man. And look forward to that this summer. We're really going to broaden out this summer and really talk about about the whole league this summer, because I feel like that's something that we can really, really focus on the league as a whole, and really talk about all the stories that are transpiring. And I think it would be a really fun way to lead up into our Steelers talk for the season and mini camps and things of that nature. But for now, the Pittsburgh Steelers embark on a journey to become 4-2, or perhaps fall to 3-3 here in Week 6. So we'll see how this all plays out, man. So until tomorrow, man, I'm Jason. This is Steel City Live, only here on Mike Drop Sports. So until next time, guys, peace. See y'all.